Welcome to Experts Talk Show. Here we have Angel, a heart-centered strategist, advisor with over 20 years of experience in finance, personal development, business, and she is also into the remote sales industry. That's how I came to know about Angel. Angel has started her business in the finance industry nearly 2 decades ago and has actually could able to settle over $50 million in mortgage sales. $50 million, my dear friends who are from India, please try to calculate that into Indian rupees. So that's a big number, and a small team responsible for hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. I'm just trying to pick up the things from the entire biography, and she could able to bring multiple six-figure passive income. Is it so, Angel? From all different strategies, all different careers that you have been to. So, and being uh, a business person or a salesperson, as a coach, as an entrepreneur, the totality of Angel that I received as a person is her energy that comes from the heart, the alignment of what she as a person and what she wants to do in her heart, what she wants to help others to do through the heart centered approach. So, welcome, Angel. Thank you so much for accepting to be on my expert talk show. I'm very happy to have you today. And I just wanted to know how come you have been helping people around for the past 20 years in different roles? What motivated you to do what you do?
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. And that is a pretty big question. And I think that what really motivated me is there's a couple of different things. I really, really value freedom. And I feel like the way that this world works and society works, and that the way everything is geared up in this world does not always point towards living a life of freedom. And so life is so busy. We go to school, it depends on the culture that you're raised in, but we're
Yeah,
often just channeled down a certain tunnel, and that's what you're expected to do, whether it's through society or family. And I feel like from a young age, I had something else inside of me, this vision for something more, for something different, for a life that I created on my own terms. And I
yeah,
believe in that really deeply. I believe in that for myself, but I also believe in it for others. And so I think as a young person, from the experiences that I had in life, I decided that I didn't want to leave it up to chance or leave it up to anyone else, that I had to take matters into my own hands if I wanted to
yeah, it is.
live that life of freedom. And so that's what I set about to do. And I wanted to do that in a way that was most aligned to what felt interesting for me. And so that is what I did.
Wonderful. That's great. So, since your childhood, almost that you wanted to live and design your life, uh, life by design, not by chance, right? So that's great. Awesome. So, have you got into the sales in the same thought process? Have you got into the businesses with because of that thought process instead of you actually working for some other organization? You are building your own thing, and how what motivated you to get into the sales,
So
being
what
into business?
motivated me to get into sales is, I guess at the moment, I still consider this to absolutely be a business. And so in
Yeah,
working in sales, you can then choose which clients that you want to work with, and whose companies you're going to serve. And very much I do consider that to be something that is done with service at the forefront of it. And so the answer to the question is really that it's because this is what is in alignment for me at the moment. And it is such a joy to be able to bring myself and what I do into other people's businesses and serve them. And so along the way, I've spent time building different businesses. And at the moment, it really feels very much in alignment for me to be serving inside other people's businesses as well. And
Yep.
so that is very exciting to me to have changed the trajectory slightly, but in a way that is definitely pulling on my strengths and my experience, and in a way that will allow me to create more of what I want in life while also serving others.
Wow, that's great. So you are leveraging your experiences, you're leveraging your own core strengths that you have gained over a period of years. And at the same time, while working in the other businesses, you are also transforming the life of the people by providing the products and services for those who are in need, right? That I really
Yeah.
like that. So to have a clarity for my audience, even though if you if it is confidential, you can keep the company's names aside, and then you can share, what industry are you in right now? And if it is okay for you, how much money do you bring for your company?
Yeah, so at the moment,
Average per month. Yeah.
oh, okay. So at the moment, I'm just transitioning to working with a new company. So I don't have the past numbers to be able to bring you in that. So this company is in the property investing space in Australia.
Okay.
So fantastic for me because it calls on an area that I have spent so many years in my own businesses. So
Wow. Okay.
yes.
So fine. So, to be a clear, to become a best salesperson in high ticket space, especially, what do you think based on your experiences, on the business owner's experiences? You are also a business owner. At the same time, you have worked with the different businesses, and you are also a consumer, right? We all buy things on a day-to-day basis for different reasons. We take the services of the people. Looking at it from the consumer perspective, as a business owner, entrepreneurial perspective, and as a salesperson, from your own experience as a heart-centered strategist, what do you think are the three most characteristics that a successful salesperson should have, so that they should inculcate in their lifestyle, so that they can become more successful and then generate more money for them and then serve others? Yeah, three characteristics. Please share.
Well, I would say that resilience has got to be
Ah,
one of those.
right.
I think that in life in general, that is such an important quality to have. But I think in this industry and in business, resilience is such an important thing because not everything will always be easy. And I like to say that there's the cost of admission if you want
Yeah.
to have what you truly desire in life. And so I think resilience would have to be the number one. Not every day, not every conversation, not every deal, not every business will actually end up going exactly how we planned out. And so we need to have those inner resources that we can call on to know that we're going to be okay no matter what. And so we can keep showing up day after day to do what is required of us to get the result that we're looking for. So I'd say resilience is definitely in that top three. And then also for me, I think in life is empathy, compassion, and that's in a way of like actually caring about who is in front of us, like truly deeply caring about this human being that is placed in front of us, whether that be a client or a business associate or a friend, or just actually taking the
Mm,
time to connect and feel into who they are. And so I think
mm.
empathy is a huge part of that. And then I would say, this is probably not a popular answer in terms of business, but you
That's
know
okay.
what? In my life and in business, I have found it very much to be true, is kindness. I think
Mm.
kindness is such an underrated value in the world of business, and it is something that is a really huge part of the way I do life and business, and that's something I'm actually really proud of. So for me, that would be my top three.
Wow, that's awesome. So, Gary Vee talks about kindness. Gary Vee, I
Okay.
think you will be surprised, and then you will feel more connected once you watch him. talk about
Yes.
kindness. That's true.
Okay. That's
And
cool.
he's such a big guy, having starting from the lemonade center to becoming a billionaire. He traveled, and he
Yeah.
talks about resilience and the persistence, and then working your ass off on the in the areas that you are really interested in, instead of giving a shit about what the world thinks about you. Yeah,
Yeah. I love
awesome,
that.
awesome. Yeah. So I think you can really enjoy watching him. So what do you think is the difference between a normal sales and high ticket sales from your perspective? You have seen the normal generic sales happening, and also remote high ticket sales happening, right?
Mm.
So in these two worlds, what do you think is the difference?
That's a very good question. I feel like it's interesting because my brain kind of automatically goes to, well, instead of what's the difference, what's the same? And the
Okay.
what is the same is that at the end of the day, it's all about people and connecting with people and finding out what it is that they truly want, what they truly desire, and finding out whether there is actually a meeting of what you do and what it is that they require and desire. And so I feel like that, that's kind of just gone completely off the reservation with your question. But to me, I'm really interested in finding out what those
Finding
similarities.
similarities. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
wrote a post about similarities and disparities, and then also mentioned that we just wanted to judge ourselves to see our point of view at the moment of what comes to our nature, and then we try to make it a similarity or disparity. It's just a psychosocial drama. I
Yeah.
mentioned in that manner. That's a deep reflection in a weekend that I got into the mind. So I just wrote it down in a note paper and then made it a post. Anyway, I really like that. So it all comes down to whether it is a normal sales or high ticket sales, comes down to the people, and then serving the people, and then making ourselves available and resourceful to be able to provide the solutions by understanding them. I really like that. So,
Mm, mm.
so if anyone wants to get into the high ticket sales, okay, they know that by the time they watch this video, the people will know that they wanted to know they should be a people oriented, a problem solver, a person with resilience and empathy driven and kindness driven. That really makes this sense. That's what Angel from Heart Centered Strategy, she is talking about sales. They know that. Apart from that, if anyone wants to move from other roles, they are not into the sales, they are from different background, and they wanted to get into the sales. So what are the suggestions would you give for those people who wanted to get into the sales? That's the thing I would really want you to share about.
I feel like what I have been taught through my mentorship, I will just say, when I decided to transition from the way I had been doing business before into this space, I decided that the fastest way for me to do that, to calibrate to the results that I wanted, was to find a mentor that had basically got the results that I wanted and could
Yeah.
be that that conduit for me getting there faster. I absolutely believe that if you have the drive and the resilience and the motivation, there is so much information on the internet available to us that you can go and you can find it and you can piece it together. So I feel like there is so much opportunity to do that just using YouTube and Google. And so find out what it is that you're actually getting into. But one of my mentors has helped me to see how there are so many things that we do in life and that we have learned in school and in previous work in business that actually do translate into this field. We just didn't think
Yeah,
about it. We just weren't thinking of it in those terms. And so we
right.
can go through that process of writing down the experiences that we've had and actually think about how they are relevant to this world of sales. And so that was a very powerful exercise for me to do. And I think that that is a really, I would recommend anybody who is considering transitioning in from outside of sales to go through that same process.
Okay, that's cool. So from our past experiences, if we look at, we definitely do have some experiences, some kind of skills, some kind of knowledge which can be transferable when we are actually transitioning into the remote sales. That's what you are very clearly mentioning. That's really awesome. So once they get into the high ticket sales, as you know, building trust and rapport with the prospects is really, really crucial. So, from your experience, what are the things that one should do to make a better connection with the international clients to build trust and rapport? What do you
And
think we should do?
would you say specifically international clients? Like, I'm just trying to understand exactly what you're
Yeah,
asking.
specifically clients, especially on the remote sales space. So
Mhm.
international clients or local clients, whoever it is, because we are doing everything virtually these days. So
Yes. Yeah, I think, like, to me, there's a few things that I do. And again, this might be kind of outside of what you would learn in some kind of sales coaching program. But
that's the
I
spice I
actually
want now.
Okay, good. Okay. So what I personally do is I take time before the call to actually be doing some deep breaths, and I do connect to my heart. I take the time to just connect to my heart and connect to the fact that the person that I'm going to speak to is a person, a father, a husband, a daughter, and that they have, they have their life, and I need to stay open to being able to reveal the truth rather than having my own agenda for this has to happen this way, and then this gets said and then that gets said, but really staying open to the truth and to
Wow.
actually to letting them know that that's what is going to happen as well. Because I think people have this resistance to being on a sales call. I think because people are more the word is sophisticated these days. People are saying people are more sophisticated, but that basically just means, we've been around the traps. We know how it goes, and we know what
Correct.
it's like to be sold to. And there is that saying that nobody likes to be sold to, but everyone
Sold.
likes to buy.
Exactly. People
And
wanted to
so
buy, but they don't want it to be sold. That's true.
they don't. Nobody does. You don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
I keep that in the front of my heart and my mind, and I just really make space for having a conversation that is about the truth.
Yeah.
And in the words of my mentor JD, is facilitating an optimal decision for that person. And when that is the premise for that communication, then it can be
Things
whatever it will.
automatically fall into the place. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just leading them through a process that, if everything aligns, then you do business. And that's a really beautiful way to enter into the conversation. And so that's what I would say about that one.
A good thing about having a rapport. That's cool. And should have a good smile like Angel. That's a different thing.
Yeah, and
Okay.
smile doesn't hurt.
That's true. So, Angel, so in your entire experience of handling, whether in the business or in the high ticket sales, working for somebody in collaboration with somebody, uh, what objections do you remember very specifically that really you could able to translate with your approach, heart-centered approach, and then could able to turn around the situation? And you
Mm,
remember very freshly in your mind. Always you remember that in your mind, and
yeah.
how that experience, positive experience, helped you to reinforce a few things always you keep in your fingertips and then use in the other times when the situation comes. as a weapons in your disposal or the strengths in your disposal. Is there anything like
Yeah.
that?
Yes. Well, I'm trying to think of the best way to answer that, because I guess in my experience for so many years as a strategist,
Yeah,
I the way that I would lead people through the process is really uncovering at each step of the way what might be an impediment to them moving forward. And so when you, I guess, are taking the conversation in that manner, it doesn't really, I mean, it sounds a little bit funny, but I guess and you never think about it this way when it's happening at the time. But since I've now entered into this space, I guess
mm,
people would call that like an objectionless close, because what you're doing is really meeting those fears and those possible things that might be coming up as an objection as
yeah.
you take the client through that process. So I'm not sure if that really answers your question in the best way, but I feel
But
like that's a beautiful way to approach things. It's just
yeah,
a conversation that is, if you're allowing those natural things to come up as you go, then it just moves smoothly throughout that whole process.
got it, got it. So basically, when we look this entire conversation from the sales or business perspective, and then try to see some part of the conversation with the label calling objection, then there is a new thing coming up, new doubts, insecurities, or the new capabilities are being demanded by the person who is actually trying to help the other person, right? When we don't have this context and the labels aside, it's just a conversation. And if
Yes.
we have an intention to work with the truth, understand the truth, having the empathy to understand, and then take time and have a natural conversation, it automatically things will fall into the pot without worrying about the objection, actually. So we are almost in the
Yeah.
same sense. When I started initially, when I started my journey in the sales and business. When I was dealing with the clients also, I just felt the same thing. It's a conversation I'm going to have. I don't worry about what will happen. Naturally, let me face and see how it goes. My intention is, if they are in need and if I can support, I will just put forward a word, and then why it is important, how that can change. That's the
Mm.
only thing. Before I know anything about sales, because I come from development background, I used to raise grants and then create public health programs, and then use the grants, raise the grants, get the grants to our organization and give it to somebody. And the entire process is communicating with the people, get the grants, distribute, and then see whether that can really impact, and then check that with proper evaluation studies. What is the status before the program, after the program, all that journey we used to document. So problem solving skills, maybe I translated into business skills at
Mm.
some level. But I really like when you say whether it answers my question or not, but it really answers my question. So those people who are watching this video, please understand, it's just a conversation and you don't have to worry about it. You just focus on with the right intention, as angels and my both of our mentor JD mentioned. You focus on facilitating an optimal decision, finding the truth. If that is centered, many things will automatically fall into place. Okay. Having said that, Angel, I would really like to introduce what exactly you do right now, and what kind of a businesses you wanted to collaborate with, and how people who are watching this video can connect with you. Are you really open to collaborate with the people across the globe? And if so, what exactly you wanted to do, or what kind of support you can help them? If they are business owners, what do you do? If they are other sales professionals, whatever, whomever you wanted to collaborate with, please make sure you communicate what exactly you got to do as a value creator with 20 years of experience, and people may connect with you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you. And so, look, I'm always definitely open to collaborate with people. I really have to say that one of the things that really, I guess, surprised me when I entered into this space was the beautiful connections that I would make with other professionals all over the world, and the true
Right.
friendships and relationships that have come from that, because I simply became open to doing that and to having those conversations, which have really been an absolute joy to me. So I'm absolutely always open to connect with other people, especially in this space. That's fantastic. And so for now, at the moment, with the current offers that I have, did you mean what niches that I'm currently working in?
Or if you wanted to collaborate with the people, so you wanted to work on some other project, and then you are looking for the connections with the people, or you wanted to give your closing services, or you wanted to provide closers for somebody else, or you wanted to collaborate on one heart-centered coaching program with the people, whatever you wanted to do with the people. It's an
Yes,
invitation
wonderful.
for the people from Angel. For them,
Wonderful.
it's an opportunity. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, great. And so, look, for right now, I guess my focus is on in the closing space. That is
Yep.
something that I'm really focusing on and choosing to master at the moment. And so I'm absolutely always open for that. I feel like the areas that I feel most aligned with are in the financial services, investing, and property investing and that kind of thing. But I also have a really strong background in personal development, as that's been such a huge part of my life. And so one of the offers that I work in is much more in that kind of realm and space.
Okay.
So I'm certainly open to turning my hand to a few different fields there.
Okay. Okay. So financial institution people or personal development people who want to connect with Angel, and then if you wanted to go with the closing opportunity collaboration with the Angel, she would definitely, as a service provider, would give you the wonderful opportunity to lead your sales, and with heart-centered approach. Definitely, your clients will not feel as it is a sales call, rather, they feel like having a good, beautiful conversations to have a beautiful decisions in their life. That's what Angel also mentions in her bio, right? I really like the
Yes,
word beautiful decisions. So when you
thank
say
you.
beautiful, that's optimal and also useful for both the parties. Is it so? That's what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Beautiful, beautiful decisions.
Okay, great. So, Angel, have you ever went through any specific sales influencers and then sales books that really impacted the way that you are dealing with your sales? It just a two
I
minutes.
okay. I would say, the biggest impact to me has definitely been my mentor, JD Daly. The way he approaches this space and sales and just everything else that he does, I would say, is just beautiful. He brings a whole new way of looking at it that really, to be perfectly honest, that was the thing that gave me the go ahead in my own mind when I was
The
thinking about
confidence.
transitioning into this
Yeah.
space. Yeah, because the way he approaches the sales conversation is just, it's a beautiful thing to me. And the way he approaches holding yourself in this space as a service provider and a business owner really also is, it's a contrast to the way a lot of the people operate inside this space. And so, JD has definitely had the biggest impact for me, for sure.
Okay. Any books apart from mentor JD, the king of remote sales. Yeah.
Yes, I would say another book which is fantastic, which is Sales Power, which utilizes the silver mind method to create results in
Oh,
your life and business and sales. And so it can be utilized in absolutely all areas of life. And so because I believe so deeply in the power of the mind and accessing higher parts of ourselves that we don't generally have access to in the realm of the conscious day to day.
yeah.
I've seen in my life when you are willing to tap into those additional powers that we all have but don't necessarily use, what you can create and the miraculous results that you can create. And so I have loved that book and specifically applying that to the world of sales and your attitude towards it as well. So I would also recommend looking at that.
Wow. So I heard of a Silva method, but I never heard there is a sales book with a Silva method. I
Yes.
really wanted to get a copy of it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Angel, for your time. I really appreciate. And please share any socials or website that you have so that people can get in touch with you, or you can share it with me, and then I will share in the description of this video. Is that okay?
Yes. Okay. Wonderful. Yes, I'm very easily contactable on Facebook and also on LinkedIn. But I would say Facebook is my number
Yeah.
one.
Okay. Sure. I will give that link. Thank you so much, Angel, for your time and sharing the 20 years of experience, especially focusing on sales for those who wanted to get into the high ticket sales and all these experiences, the simple yet very powerful fundamental things that naturally came out from you, from your heart, really helpful for those who are looking in this industry, transitioning into this industry. So thank you so much. I will get in touch with you. Thank you. I wish you
Oh,
all the best.
Chandra, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. We could keep talking for hours, I'm sure. And so for anyone who is looking to transition in, please don't hesitate to reach out. I really do feel that I'm, very happy to talk about my experiences and getting started.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.